Good evening, everyone. We are the third reporter, and our report is Building Permit Administration System, or BPAS, of the local government unit of Coronadal City. First, let us introduce ourselves.
I am Dayan Facey Eusala, Zoning Officer 1 at City Planning and Development Office of Lgu-Koronadal, and here with me my partner.
I'm Jennifer Guanzon, Engineer 1 at City Engineering Office of Lgu-Koronadal. To start with, here is the background of our study. The MIS division under the City Planning and Development Office or CPDO of Coronadal City created an automated system which is called the Building Permit Administration System or BPAS. It would help them to quickly gather and manage large data. This study will focus on the benefits and problems encountered in the implementation or usage of BPAS and how the employees or technical personnel of the LGU successfully provided solutions.
For the objectives of our study, first is to understand the MIS used for building permits. Second is to identify the benefits of having a BPAS in the organization. And lastly is to identify the issues encountered in the implementation or usage of the BPAS and solutions to these problems.
For the scope and or coverage of our study, this study focuses on the usage and benefits of having an MIS program, specifically the Building Permit and Administration System in the local government unit of Coronadal City. As the study goes on, issues faced by the users will be discovered and what solutions did the developer or the implementing agency made to be able to overcome these matters. An interview with the chief of MIS division and user will be used as basis in finding out the positive effects of using BPAS they have taken to be able to make this system successful and give a great help in the growth of the local government unit.
For the description of the organization, the City Planning and Development Office is the backbone of every local government unit. The organization is mandated to formulate comprehensive plans and other development planning papers. They are also responsible in monitoring and assessing the different programs, projects, and activities or PPAs implemented by the city government.
For the description of the MIS, BPAS is a digital version of the manual system of processing building permits which generates zoning certification and locational clearance.
For the system functionalities, here is the user interface of the system. As you open the system, it will first require your username and password. Then it will proceed to this interface. In the zoning division, you will only have the access to the zoning tab. This tab will give you the access in the zoning certification and locational clearance that will be issued to the clients. In applying for a building permit, the previous manual transactions were shifted to automated system where all the data of the clients are being encoded and stored. The zoning division under the City Planning and Development Office is currently one of the users of BPAS. When an applicant submits the requirements for the building permit in the Office of the Building Official, it will then endorse to the zoning division. The zoning officer will encode its application which consists of applicant's name, address, project's name, land use based on the approved zoning ordinance, project cost, transfer certificate title number, lot area, utilized area of the project, lot owner, and inspection report. All the history of the transactions of every application are stored and backed up in the system, which results to transparency between the clients and the organization.
For the users of the system are the zoning officers and the employees of the Office of the Building Official. The system is easy to use, well-designed, and a user-friendly system. Being an officer, being a zoning officer who is assigned to use the system, it is very helpful in processing the client's application for the zoning certification and locational clearance for business and building. It made the process faster and efficient, which is an advantage for both the employee and client.
For the implementation methodology, the BPAS is using a window-based desktop application operating on Windows Operating System or OS and is connected to the server through local area network or LAN. BPAS was designed and developed using MS Visual Studio 2005 programming language and has a licensed MS SQL server as its backend for the database management.
For the application to run, it must be installed in a computer unit with Microsoft XP OS or higher. If for standalone use, the same unit can be used as a local database server. For bigger organizations such as the local government unit with multiple users, the system shall be installed in two or more computer units that are connected to the LAN, which connects the system to the database server. For the benefits of MIS implementation, first, we have reduced paperwork and manual effort. The BPAS reduces the manual effort of the employees because it will not just streamline the daily tasks of the workplace but also speed up the retrieval of the client's information.
Second, all transactions can be saved and backed up. In the event of an unexpected fire or mishaps, all transactions can be saved and backed up. This is not possible for paper records except you make copies of all the documents, which is an unproductive process.
Third, tracking the status of ongoing applications. The BPAS is very beneficial in the zoning division because it can track the status of ongoing applications. The user can check if the clients have paid their fees or the clearance has been issued already.
Fourth, the system can also store data that can be used for analysis and decision making between the users and the managers because the system can summarize the information of all the clients.
Fifth, having BPAS in the organization, it increases the productivity of all employees that are using this system.
Sixth, automatic computation or assessment of fees. By developing the BPAS, it improves the accuracy of data needed by the users. It generates an automatic computation or assessment of fees that the client needs to pay, so by this system, miscalculation can be avoided.
Lastly, this will help in minimizing human error. With a slight number of errors, the efficiency of current human resources also will rise.
For the problems in MIS implementation or usage, first we have innovation of technology. In information technology, nothing will remain for a long time. One of the problems encountered in using the MIS is that from one year to the next, innovation requires software updates, storage upgrade, and even replacements of the devices.
Second and third, some employees assigned to use this system were not technical persons and some were old employees that are no longer eager to learn about the system.
Fourth, change of users. The core issue of having this kind of system is the change of user. Especially in the LGU, most of the users were job order employees. All the users were trained to use the system, and if those employees will not be able to come back to work, another training will be done.
Lastly, in regards to the equipment used for the system, two issues were highlighted by the developer. First, the fluctuating electric current. Every now and then, the LGU is experiencing a series of blackouts which affects the performance of the office equipment. Another is that some offices who use the system as an obsolete computer specification, which results to slow computer response and may cause delay in the transaction of clients.
For the solutions, first we have the user training. The solution to the issues that the organization encountered in implementing or using the system is to train the person in charge or the user of the system.
Second, the users must also be computer savvy because having a thorough practical knowledge in computers can easily learn the process in using the BPAS.
Third, IT personnel training. Getting IT personnel used to new software and systems can be done through training as well. Technical training can lessen the burden they carry in adjusting to the new system.
Fourth, require at least one permanent employee as user. In the implementation of BPAS, it is highly recommended that the users should have at least one plantilla or permanent so that the transaction will not be hampered once the job order worker will not be renewed.
Fifth, provision of UPS. Organizations should provide an interruptible power supply or UPS in order to protect the computers from damaging blackouts and brownouts.
Lastly, it is essential that the computer unit should be upgraded because a PC which has low system specifications will give poor performance which results to hanging and lagging.
And for our conclusion, There may be some problems and issues implementing and using the Bpas, but it was shown in the study that there are solutions to these problems. The benefits of Bpas can evidently outweigh the problems encountered by the users and IT personnel because the system has been operating for a decade and it has served thousands of applicants already. In conclusion, a well-managed information system is a vital part in the success of the organization today. And for our references, we have 3 references. And that would be all. Thank you.